Let me start with something slightly uncomfortable. Some of the smartest minds I've ever met don't feel smart at all. They feel late. They feel messy. They feel like their brain is always halfway through something, even when they're sitting still. It's like having 30 tabs open in your head. One of them is playing music, another one is loading, and you're pretty sure one tab has been open since 2014. And here's the twist. That feeling doesn't automatically mean confusion. Sometimes, it means your mind is working on a deeper level, quietly. This video is not about IQ scores or being the smartest person in the room. It's about how your mind processes reality, how it connects, how it maps, how it senses structure before words. Psychologists often separate intelligence into what you know versus how you think. And a lot of powerful intelligence lives in that second part. So if school never fully captured how your mind works, but you constantly notice connections, patterns, and hidden logic, this video is for you. Weird trait number 1, pattern radar. You don't just hear information. You hear the pattern underneath. Someone explains a problem at work, late deadlines, stress, blame, and your brain quietly goes, yeah, this isn't a one-time issue. This is a loop. Vague plan, overconfidence, last-minute panic, blame, repeat. Same movie, different actors. And you notice this everywhere. Online arguments? Sometimes you can tell it's not about the topic. It's about identity. People aren't defending an idea. They're defending who they are. Psychologists link this to higher-level reasoning. Smart minds often spot relationships and structure faster than surface details. But here's the catch: why you might not feel smart. You usually sense the pattern before you can explain it. So you hesitate. You think, if I can't prove it in one sentence, I'll sound weird. Quick tip, don't over-explain. Just drop the clue. I think there's a pattern here. Then name the loop in one line. If you relate to this, you're not behind. You're early. Weird trait number 2, mind mapping mode. You don't learn in a straight line. You learn like your brain is building a map. Someone teaches you step by step, and you're like, okay, but where is this going? What's the big picture? Because your mind doesn't just store facts. It connects them. One idea reminds you of another, and suddenly you're 3 topics away, thinking, wait, how did we get from economics to relationships? And somehow it still makes sense. Psychologists call this schema building. Your brain organizes information into frameworks. It's why you may feel slow at the start, but once the map clicks, you learn fast. And yes, it can look like overthinking, but really you're just doing something most people don't. You're building a system, not a list. If this is you, you're not messy. You're mapping. Weird trait number 3, comfort with I don't know. You say I don't know without panicking, which is rare, because a lot of people treat I don't know like it's a personal failure. But you'll face a new topic and go, interesting. I'm not sure yet. Calm. Grounded. No dramatic music. There's a famous line often attributed to Socrates. I know that I know nothing. And honestly, that's not insecurity. That's awareness. Psychology even has a pattern for this. The more you learn, the more you notice complexity. So while someone else is confidently wrong in 4K, you're quietly accurate in loading mode. It can feel like a curse sometimes because the deeper you go, the bigger the ocean gets. But that's also how real understanding begins. Weird trait number 4, instant self-edit. You can catch yourself mid-sentence and go, wait, no, that's not the right word. And you actually change it, which already puts you ahead of people who would rather defend a wrong take than update it. Your brain has an edit button, and you use it. Psychologists call this metacognition, thinking about your own thinking. In normal human terms, you can zoom out and audit yourself in real time. It can look like insecurity to others. Why are you always correcting yourself? But it's not insecurity. It's precision. Because smart minds don't cling to being right. They cling to being accurate. And yes, this also means you probably rewrite a 2-line text message 5 times. Welcome to the club. Weird trait number 5, model-based learning. You don't want to memorize. You want to understand how the machine works. So when someone gives you facts, your brain goes, cool, but what's the rule behind this? What's the system? What causes what? Where does this break? Because facts alone feel like screenshots. You want the whole operating system. That's why you can learn something like software, economics, or history and start seeing the same structure. Inputs, rules, outcomes, feedback. In software, you're not just learning buttons, you're learning logic. You want to know, if I change this, what else changes? You're basically allergic to just do it like this explanations. In economics, you're not only hearing numbers, You're tracking incentives. You're thinking, okay, if people are rewarded for X, they'll do X. If the rules change, behavior changes. It's like watching invisible strings move the whole scene. In history, you're not just memorizing dates, you're noticing cycles. Resources shift, power shifts, culture shifts, stories shift. Same engine, different era. Psychologists call this learning through mental models. And it sticks because once you get the model, you can rebuild the details anytime. This is also why you might feel slow at first. You're not collecting facts quickly. You're trying to find the framework that makes the facts make sense. And once you find it, you accelerate. A lot. That's also why you're the person who watches a tutorial and gets annoyed when it's 12 minutes long just to say, click here. Because your brain is sitting there like, great, but why does clicking here work? What's the principle? Other people collect facts like souvenirs. You're over here trying to steal the blueprint. And when you learn this way, something changes. You don't just remember information, you can transfer it. You can apply the same model to a different topic, a different job, a different problem, because you're learning the structure underneath. So if you've ever felt like school didn't measure your intelligence properly, it might be because your brain isn't built for memorizing. It's built for understanding systems. Weird trait number 6, sensing hidden depth. You know that moment when you're sitting with someone, coffee, normal conversation, everything fine, but your brain goes, something is off. Nobody said anything dramatic, but you catch it anyway. A pause that was a little too long, a smile that didn't reach the eyes, a sentence that sounded okay, but felt weird. You're not accusing anyone. You're just noticing the mismatch. Psychologists would call this sensitivity to context, nuance, and subtext. Your mind picks up small signals and patterns in behavior. Pop culture version? The Matrix. Most people only see the surface. Neo starts noticing the glitches. That's you. You're hearing the words, but you're also sensing what doesn't match the story. So when you say, something feels different, you're not being dramatic. You're reading the room in high definition. Weird trait number 7, the learning paradox. You learn something new, and instead of feeling smarter, you feel smaller. You watch one video, read one article, connect one idea, and suddenly your brain goes, oh, wow, there is a lot more here than I thought. It's like opening a door expecting a small room and finding a hallway with 100 more doors. Psychologists see this as a natural stage of deeper understanding. As knowledge grows, awareness of complexity grows too. So while someone else says, I get it, and moves on, you pause because you can see the layers underneath. It can feel frustrating, even humbling, but that feeling isn't failure. It's expansion. The more you see, the more you realize there is to see. So if you saw yourself in several of these traits, here's the truth. You're not slow. You're not behind. Your mind just works in layers. Some brains collect answers. Others collect patterns. And if yours keeps connecting dots, sensing depth, questioning more the more it learns, that's not confusion. That's intelligence showing up quietly. If one of these traits hit you, write the number in the comments. Subscribe to Mind Clues for more clues about how your mind really works. And if this video made you feel understood, hit like. Next clue is coming. Brain sparkles.